The Supreme Court is currently facing a grave crisis of legitimacy, and it is a crisis of its own making.
When it comes to modern politics, you may think equality and injustice should be issues confined to legislative debates and civil rights movements. However, the Supreme Court has entered the chat, and things are getting spicy. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, has taken a step that could rival any political drama by introducing articles of impeachment against Supreme Court Justices Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito. AOC's actions highlight serious concerns about judicial ethics and accountability. She's charging in like a whistleblower at a scandalous dinner party, pointing fingers and demanding justice. Her targets? Justices accused of serious misconduct and conflicts of interest. It's a high-stakes game of legal chess where every move is scrutinized, so suit up and watch as this roller coaster unfolds, where the stakes are high and the outcome's uncertain. It's democracy in action, with all its trials and tribulations right before our eyes. Supreme Court? More like Supreme Meme Court, because it's a joke at this point, am I right, folks? So what are they cooking up this time? Oh, wait, they're not? Oh, they're the ones getting cooked? That's right, fellers, the SCOTUS is supposed to be the pinnacle of legal wisdom, but lately, it feels like they're more about making headlines than making sense. Case in point, talk of impeachment proceedings. Yep, you heard that right. Impeaching Supreme Court justices. Seems like the drama meter just hit 11. And who's stirring the pot this time? None other than Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the political dynamo who's as sharp-tongued as she is socially conscious. AOC isn't just critiquing decisions. She's calling for accountability that makes even the most seasoned jurists take notice. It's like a legal smackdown meets a TED Talk on ethics reform. Born and raised in the Bronx to working-class Puerto Rican parents, AOC didn't just knock on doors during her campaign. She knocked out a longtime incumbent, proving that a potent mix of social media savvy and genuine grassroots support can rock the establishment harder than a Beyoncé concert. Her rise to fame reads like a millennial superhero's origin story. She went from bartending to the halls of Congress, armed with a passion for Medicare for all, the Green New Deal, and a knack for Twitter zingers that could make even the most seasoned politician reach for their meme consultant.
It is of material importance to the American people to note that Justice Thomas's relationship to the billionaire only began after Thomas's powerful appointment to our nation's highest court.
AOC's social media game is so strong, even C-SPAN is tuning in for the drama. She tweets, she grams, she does Insta stories that make you feel like you're getting the Capitol Hill gossip straight from the water cooler. Who needs press releases when you've got 280 characters and an emoji that perfectly captures your disdain for big money lobbyists? In Congress, AOC doesn't just sit quietly. She's on the front lines of committees like Financial Services, where she's not afraid to ask the tough questions or throw shade at corporate greed like a pro. Her style, equal parts policy wonk and meme queen with a dash of, did she really just say that? Love her or hate her, AOC is undeniably changing the game. She's the political disruptor we didn't know we needed, bringing a millennial flair to issues like climate change and income inequality that even Baby Yoda would give a nod of approval to. Whether she's fighting for your health care or debating the finer points of brunch socialism, one thing's for sure. AOC isn't just a congresswoman. She's a cultural phenomenon in a pantsuit. So how did she end up in the center of the SCOTUS storm? Well, AOC, armed with her trademark mix of policy wonkery and social media prowess, sets her sights on the highest court in the land. As the SCOTUS drama unfolds, she's not just critiquing from the sidelines. She's front and center, challenging the status quo with every fiery tweet and impassioned speech.
In her post on social media, the New York Democrat didn't specify which justices that she would include. AOC says the Supreme Court has become, quote, consumed by a corruption crisis beyond its control.
For AOC, it's not just about making waves. It's about holding the judiciary accountable in a way that resonates with everyday Americans. From calls for transparency to demands for ethical integrity, she's pushing the envelope on what it means to wield power responsibly, even if it means ruffling a few judicial robes along the way. And let's face it, in the age of viral moments and 24/7 news cycles, AOC knows how to command attention. Whether she's dissecting legal precedents or calling out perceived injustices, her approach blends legislative scrutiny with a millennial sensibility that's as refreshing as it is divisive. As the debate over SCOTUS heats up, AOC remains a potent force in shaping the national conversation. Her supporters see a fearless advocate fighting for justice and equity. Her critics see a lightning rod for controversy. But love her or loathe her, one thing is certain. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez isn't just another politician. She's a catalyst for change in a system that's often resistant to it.
Any one of our co-equal branches be completely unaccountable to the others is paving the path to authoritarianism, tyranny, the abuse of power in the United States.
Supreme Court justices are the ultimate arbiters of justice in the United States, wielding immense power to interpret the Constitution and shape the legal landscape for generations. Nominated by the President and confirmed by the Senate, these justices assume lifetime appointments, a tenure designed to insulate them from political pressures and ensure judicial independence. Their authority extends over cases that define the nation's legal and social fabric, from civil rights to corporate regulations, making their decisions profoundly influential and often contentious. Impeaching a Supreme Court justice is a rare and weighty undertaking, akin to attempting to disrupt a symphony, conducted by the finest maestros of law. The process begins in the House of Representatives, where articles of impeachment must allege treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors, as stipulated by the Constitution. This stringent criterion reflects the gravity of impeaching a justice, emphasizing the need for compelling evidence of misconduct or ethical breaches.
The last and only time a Supreme Court justice went through the impeachment process was in 1804, when openly partisan Associate Justice Samuel Chase was impeached by the House.
Chase, a spirited and sometimes contentious figure on the bench, found himself embroiled in political controversies that tested the limits of judicial independence. The House is all fired up, waving their articles of impeachment like they just found the last slice of pizza at a congressional potluck. Treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Sounds serious, right? It's like trying to cancel Netflix for buffering too much, except instead of buffering, it's judicial overreach. In the Senate, it's a legal circus, part high-stakes poker game, part philosophical debate club. Senators are weighing the evidence like it's the final round of a reality TV cooking show. Will Chase's legal recipe pass muster, or will they send him to the judicial chopping block? Chase walks away with an acquittal, leaving everyone scratching their powdered heads. It's like a plot twist in a telenovela. You didn't see that coming. The precedent is set. Impeaching a Supreme Court justice requires more twists and turns than a roller coaster at Disneyland, and as much drama as a Kardashian family reunion. And let's not forget the impeachment process itself. It's like planning a wedding with more subpoenas and fewer RSVPs. There's the rigorous investigation phase where lawyers dig through legal haystacks looking for the proverbial smoking gun. Cue the dramatic music. It's legal drama at its finest, complete with courtroom cliffhangers and more legal jargon than a Law and Order marathon. But wait, there's due process. Like trying to teach a cat to do tricks, impeachment demands meticulous adherence to constitutional norms and procedural fairness. It's like walking a tightrope over a pool of legal piranhas. Make one wrong move, and it's headlines for days. The rarity of impeaching a justice adds to the spectacle. It's as rare as finding a unicorn in a congressional committee room, a mythical creature that demands everyone's attention and a bit of disbelief. After all, when was the last time you saw a justice packing their robes because of a scandal? And let's not forget the outcome. Will the public see the judiciary as a beacon of legal wisdom? Or will they think it's more of a judicial juggling act? It's like waiting for the Oscars results, except instead of Best Picture, it's Best Performance in a constitutional crisis. And speaking of stage-worthy performances, let's talk about Roe v. Wade's Heritage Foundation. These folks aren't just playing a background role. They've got their script ready, and it's all about keeping the elite top 1% in the spotlight. It's like they're the stage managers of a grand opera where only the wealthiest get the solo parts, leaving the rest of us in the chorus hoping for a high note of justice. Roe v. Wade orchestrates policies like it's a symphony for the rich and powerful. Tax cuts? Check. Deregulation? You betcha. Social safety nets? Maybe on the cutting room floor. It's economic theory meets political theater, where every policy decision feels like a plot twist that leaves you wondering who really wrote this script. The Heritage Foundation isn't just about economics. They've got their hands in social policy too. From reproductive rights to civil liberties, their influence echoes through legislative halls like a megaphone at a silent retreat. It's like they're handing out ideological playbooks and telling everyone to stick to their lines, even if it means rewriting the script on personal freedoms. And then there's Leonard Leo, the fundraising virtuoso who's not just playing in the orchestra, but conducting the entire judicial symphony. Leo's like the impresario of the Federalist Society, where every donation is a standing ovation for conservative judicial nominees. Leo doesn't just raise funds, he orchestrates them with the precision of a maestro wielding a baton. It's like he's composing a judicial concerto where each judge appointed hits the right note of originalism and textualism. Taxpayer dollars? Forget about it. Leo's donations are the currency of confirmation, turning the Senate into a fundraising gala where judicial ideology is the main course. Critics might say Leo's tactics resemble a political auction, where the highest donor, gets a say in who interprets the Constitution. It's like he's selling season tickets to the Supreme Court, promising a front-row seat to conservative rulings and dissenting opinions that hit harder than a Shakespearean tragedy. So how are they related to AOC? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Leonard Leo seem like characters from different sitcoms in the vast TV lineup of American politics. AOC's like the energetic lead in a millennial-inspired political comedy, where every tweet is a punchline and every policy proposal a plot twist. Meanwhile, Leonard Leo is the mastermind behind the scenes, orchestrating a conservative drama where originalist judges play the starring roles. Their roles intersect in the broader narrative of American governance, where AOC's advocacy for progressive policies like the Green New Deal and Medicare for All contrasts with Leo's efforts to shape the judiciary towards conservative ideals. Mentioning Roe v. Wade emphasizes the stakes in judicial appointments, particularly on issues like reproductive rights that are pivotal to both AOC's and Leo's agendas. It underscores how their respective influences shape public discourse and policy outcomes, turning the political stage into a mix of comedy, drama, and high-stakes debate. In conclusion, the spectacle of Supreme Court justices facing impeachment, amplified by AOC's fiery critiques. It's democracy's version of Survivor Judiciary Edition, where alliances shift, egos clash, and the fate of constitutional principles hangs in the balance. As AOC wields her Twitter sword and Congress debates judicial jujitsu, one thing's for sure: the Supreme Court drama isn't just gripping, it's the binge-watch event of the political season. Thanks for watching this dive into the wild world of Supreme Court drama and AOC's bold critiques. What do you think about the intersection of judicial accountability and political theater? Should Supreme Court justices face impeachment more often, or is this a rare and necessary tool? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the quirky corners of politics and pop culture. Stay tuned for the next episode. Until then, keep questioning and keep challenging the status quo.